I didn't mean to come home early. That's the part people assume has intention. It didn't. A meeting cancelled, traffic lighter than expected. A quiet decision to skip the grocery store and just go home. Nothing dramatic. The house was still when I opened the door, not empty, just contained. The kind of quiet that suggests something is happening behind it. I set my keys down without thinking. My bag followed, then I heard water. Not unusual. Just steady. Running longer than necessary. I walked down the hallway slowly, not because I suspected anything, but because something in the rhythm of the house felt unfamiliar. The bedroom door was open. The bathroom door was not. Light cut through the bottom of it. Steam edged the frame. I don't remember deciding to open it. I remember my hand on the handle. And then, clarity. They didn't see me at first. That's what stayed with me. Not the shock. Not the betrayal in any dramatic sense. Just the fact that for a few seconds, I existed in the room without being part of it. Two people. Familiar, close enough to recognize without effort. My husband, my best friend. The water moved around them, indifferent. I stepped back before either of them could turn. Closed the door. Not gently, not loudly, just completely. Then I locked it. The click was small. Precise. Inside, there was a shift, movement. A change in the air that I could feel even through the door. My phone was already in my hand. I didn't scroll. Didn't hesitate. I pressed his name. He answered on the second ring. "Hey, you need to come over," I said. No greeting, no explanation. Now. A pause. "What's going on?" "Just come." I ended the call before it asked anything else. Behind the door. Voices had started. Low at first, then sharper. My name was said once. Then again. I didn't answer. I walked back into the living room and sat down. Not because I needed to sit. Because there was nothing else to do that would change anything. The house felt different now. Not unfamiliar, just rearranged. Every object in it still belonged where it had been, but the meaning behind it had shifted. Minutes passed, not many enough. The front door opened without knocking. He stepped in quickly, scanning the room like he expected to find something immediate visible. "What happened?" he asked. I didn't stand. I just looked at him, then toward the hallway. He followed my gaze. Didn't move right away. A second presence. He hadn't come alone. A uniform, calm posture, observant, not aggressive, not rushed, just present. "I wasn't sure what I was walking into," he said, almost apologetically. "So I thought it was better." I nodded once. "That's fine." No one raised their voice. No one needed to. We walked down the hallway together. The door was still locked. I reached for it, then paused. For a moment, I noticed something small. My hand didn't shake. I unlocked it, turned the handle, opened the door. There are moments when explanation becomes unnecessary. This was one of them. They had moved. Of course they had. The water was still running. But they weren't in it anymore. Towels, distance, attempts at rearranging what couldn't be rearranged. But the room still held the truth of what had been there minutes ago. No one spoke immediately. Not me, not him. Not the officer. Her husband stepped forward slightly, then stopped. His expression didn't collapse. It didn't even fully change. It just lost direction. "What is this?" he asked, not loudly. Not to anyone specific, just into the space. No one answered. Because there wasn't an answer that would improve what was already visible. My husband looked at me then. Not defensive. Not angry, searching. As if the situation still required interpretation. "It's not," he started. The officer shifted slightly, not interrupting. Just present enough to remind everyone that words now carried different weight. He stopped. My best friend didn't speak at all. She stood still. Wrapped in something that wasn't hers, eyes moving between all of us without settling. Her husband. Not a reaction. More like an adjustment. He stepped back, ran a hand over his face, then looked at me. "I'm sorry," he said. It wasn't an apology for himself, just recognition. I nodded. That was all. The officer cleared his throat lightly. "Is there any situation here that requires immediate assistance?" he asked. The question was neutral. Procedural. "No," I said. He nodded once. "Then I'll remain here until everyone is clear on how they want to proceed." Not control, structure. My husband tried again. "We should talk," he said. Not to me, to the room. As if conversation could still organize what had already happened. But no one moved toward him. Her husband walked out first. Not abruptly. Not dramatically, just done. She hesitated for a second, then followed. The hallway emptied in a way that felt irreversible. The officer stepped back slightly, giving space without leaving. I stayed where I was. My husband stood in the doorway. Still waiting. For something. An argument. A reaction. A decision. I didn't give him any of those, because whatever this was, it wasn't something that needed to be decided in that moment. It had already happened, and now it existed. Out in the open. Uncontained. The house was quiet again when they were gone. But it wasn't the same quiet. This one had shape. Edges. I walked back into the living room. Sat in the same place. My phone rested on the table where I had left it. No new notifications. No missed calls. Nothing trying to pull me into explanation. From the hallway, I could hear him moving. Not following. Just existing in the same space differently. And that was enough to understand something clearly. Control isn't always about what you do next. Sometimes it's about what you refuse to fix. I didn't look back. Not yet.